Herb and Two, sitting between the illustrious E4O and the boisterous Toussaint Werner. My name is Herb Howard. This is where we get together and talk about all things relationships, be it spousal, communal, parental, business, whatever it is, man. We got to get our relationships right in our community. Got to build a solid foundation on which we can build upon in terms of education, economics, politics, everything else we seek to get done in our community. Got to be built on a solid foundation of relationships. So on Friday, we set aside some time to do just that. We talk about relationships in all of its aspects. Thank y'all so very, very much for choosing to be a part of this conversation. As always, your input is valued and definitely appreciated. We would kindly request that you take a quick second to share the video with somebody, anybody that you think will add value to it or find value in it. Please share. Also, please make sure y'all hit that like button. That thumbs up helps us out a lot. The views are not matching the likes. We need y'all to like the video. Please, please, please. Make sure you subscribe to the page and set the alert so you get reminders every time the page does go live again. This is Herb and Two, a Relationship Friday edition. It's intellectual thuggery at its absolute finest. My name is Herb. That's E. That's Two. Two. What's happening, good brother?
Hey.
E. What's happening, good sister?
Tons. What's up?
Keeping it regular, man. I swear y'all be clowning in the studio before like stuff goes on, man. I'm gonna get to some of the stuff today, but between the two of y'all is a hilarious place to exist in the world.
Don't put me in that shit.
No, it's hilarious.
That's E over there.
I heard y'all on the last Patreon saying that me and P is the wildest two on the set.
Y'all are.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not changing that. I'm just saying
that's crazy.
Sitting between y'all two is still a hilarious place to be in the world, but you and P are definitely the two wildest niggas on this team.
I just don't see how people see me as like wild and like crazy, you know?
E, did you hear the conversation we was having for the cameras?
Right, what y'all talking about?
What you talking about?
I have no idea what you're talking
about. It's like,
you didn't see me, did you?
He looks in the mirror, he look in the mirror and sees something completely different than the rest of us. He's like, you are a whole savage, and you be like,
No,
you didn't see me, did you?
She in the mirror like, I'm such a dainty, such a dainty little.
I just be at home fixing shoe closets.
Right. That's hilarious. Anyway, man, hope y'all feeling good out there on this here Friday, as you see it, hopefully, or whenever you're watching it. We appreciate y'all, man. Few things going on rounds the city. Y'all know a cop got killed? I just wanted to talk about it because I didn't know it until I got to the studio down there.
Yeah, I did. I saw a video today of that guy they think is a suspect, and they had a name attached to it. Looks like a black dude, but has a name that doesn't associate with black people, so I don't know.
Whereabout did this happen, you know?
I don't know where it happened at.
Yeah. That's fucked up, man.
Cops get killed every day, B.
Cops do get killed every day, but it's fucked up, one, that the cop got killed, condolences to, his family and loved ones and colleagues and all that. But number two, it's fucked up because when cops get killed, the streets get overhot. Like the cops be on super edge and they start just, they lost one of theirs and motherfuckers be wanting to get back type shit. So.
Gang mentality is gang mentality.
Sound like a gang to me.
Right.
They the biggest gang in the city.
Yeah, you got to change and shift the culture, and that's part of the, motto and the way that we try to interact on here because, we have a responsibility to the community, specifically to the youth.
Right.
And we approached it from a very masculine perspective, but even, I can't remember the young boy's name, and that's fucked up because it's a big news story, but on the west side, right on Madison, maybe 2 weeks ago.
Right. 96 shots?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But also, Shorty was ready to blow back, you know what I mean? Like, and it's a news story, and it's still, going through whatever the trials and tribulations of that story is going to do, but you can obviously see in the video that he let one off.
Yeah, I talked to one of my young homies who hooped with him. They hooped together growing up on different teams or whatever. So he was telling me I was just checking on once I found out like good type shit. But it's fucked up. But you're right though.
Respect is an earned position, G, and it don't come through threats or an assumed position of power. It comes through relationships, right? There's a quote I used to use all the time that says, "Rules without relationships breed rebellion." Mm-hmm. So if you running through the neighborhood, kind of like with an iron fist or with this kind of
Right.
You know, little man, ego complex.
Right.
Eventually.
Trying to implement all these rules without building any relationship.
Yeah, eventually it's going to be pushback. You know what I mean?
The rebellion
is how it works.
It's unfortunate. This is a Relationship Friday show, though, so we're going to get into some relationship topics. E, which ones we want to jump into first?
So many. What was we talking about? Okay, let's talk about
women with no areolas. No.
Rules of engagement.
Okay, what you mean rules of engagement?
I can't say too much because, you know, we just talking off camera.
Right.
But rules of engagement, if you're...
This is why y'all got to hop on the Patreon. That's why you have to become an official dirtbag, because all this shit that we can't necessarily get into in a fully public forum, a lot of that gets said behind the green door. Ain't that right, Ron?
We talked about, we said we were going to talk about if you want to hook a friend up with one of your friends.
Right.
What's the rules there?
If I hook them up, or just them hollering in general?
How engaged do you get?
Scope, like, the hookup is that becomes a different thing, I think. If you do it on your own, it's different than when you hook somebody up.
Yeah.
Is
That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, I guess we could talk about both sides of it.
Right. And is it just with a friend or with also a family member?
Family, anybody, somebody else. Too. Yeah. It could be a best friend. I could have a best friend who wants to date. Right. Actually, I've had a friend date one of my siblings.
Right.
Right. And she wanted to tell me all about it. No. She's like, no. I don't want to hear about it. But then if it's a friend, I mean, that's my rule, I guess. I don't want to hear anything about it. If anybody comes to me and say, hey, would you be okay with me talking to her? Would you be okay with me talking to, like, whatever? I'm like, I don't care. I just don't want to hear about it, because it's inevitable that it's gonna, like.
Yeah, that was
something gonna happen.
There was some potential for a situation like that with us, and like I don't usually think that far down the road, but I was just like, this
shit could get awkward.
This has too much potential to go left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, in a casual situation, like it just has too much potential to go left in a relationship that matters too much to me for me to just be like playing on some. Yeah, well, that sounds fun. We should do that. And so I was like, nah. But I should be posting the nigga, and I'd be like, hold on.
Wait, so I gotta
you could do that. I said we couldn't, but I didn't mean you could. Like, fuck.
In words. Wait, I got a better question though, because I saw this video my god sister sent me, and it was talking about quiet dating.
Right.
Like why people should date quietly.
Sure.
So don't talk to, and I guess mostly women probably do this, where we always, we meet a man, we start dating them, and we kind of get a play-by-play every time. So we might be like, yeah, he took me here, he was so nice. And so what the video was saying, that you end up kind of hyping up a situation or romanticizing something happening.
Yep.
But we can't help but talk, one.
That's number one.
I'm just talking about women. I don't know many men.
Who
some
just
men
be popping off all the time for no reason.
Yeah.
Except Pete Homeboy.
But do y'all think that's like good advice for women to just date without telling it? Huh?
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
So much can get accomplished.
That's not what you said. Should we tell women to shut the fuck up?
So much could get accomplished if people just shut the fuck up.
I just wanted clarity. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Is that what you're saying?
You're not saying it right now.
Okay.
We just talked about this too.
I'm gonna tell y'all this right. That's really some Patreon shit. I'm gonna tell y'all anyway. No, I'm not gonna tell y'all. Like it's because I want to get into the details about it, but it's like.
So okay, but would you recommend it though?
Because to date quietly. I recommend women to just be. I recommend everybody to just shut the fuck up. Like you don't have to say nothing. Like.
And I'm not saying bone and just have. I'm talking about like play-by-play. We talked on the phone for
all that
X amount of da.
Because my thing is, what good is coming from this? Like whatever you're talking about, just ask yourself. Okay, if I'm about to say this, what good is coming from this? Versus how much bad can come from me saying this. You know what I mean? I think people just be talking too much. Like, just be quiet.
Have y'all ever had or known where in a situation where the woman was talking, where they are opinion or their moves were influenced by whatever their friend said or told them, and you knew it.
100%. But you know which one of your girl's friends don't really fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't got influence too. You know which one of your girl's friends don't fuck with you and got some influence over her thinking. You know what I mean? He be like, what? That sounds like some shit so and so would say. Like,
and
I just had a thought.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if I should say this out loud because I know my wife watches this now. But I'm gonna say it out loud because I don't give a fuck.
Hey, wife.
I was cleaning out the garage this weekend, throwing away a lot of shit or whatever, and I ran across this little, like, I don't want to say diary because it ain't a diary.
Mm-hmm.
It's like something
journal.
you share with your friend, and your friend asks you questions, and you get clarity.
Oh, okay.
And it was her friend just writing through this joint about all of her answers. And one of the questions from the book that the book asks is like, what's the burning question you would like to ask me?
Mm-hmm.
And the friend was like, why would you fucking marry Tucson? Now the friend ain't around; they've been around for a long time. But this was bold letters, right? I said that's why they like you, little fucky ass. But that show was one of the questions. But to the point of both of those questions, Juju, I think it's nuance in all of it, right? I think it's about the value that we see in dating in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think at some levels, like even what women are attracted to. You know what I mean? And I'm not putting this on women or men because it goes both ways.
Yeah.
Dudes talk shit too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Depending on who it is.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right? So if and women are attracted to stature, they're attracted to power, they're attracted to acclaim, right? So when they're dealing with a dude, regardless of what the world thinks to do, they've probably built dude up before they start dealing with dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I think it's part of you all's nature to like, I don't know what the word is, to like exalt that energy to make you more comfortable with dealing with the person. You know what I mean? Like, he's such and such and such and such. And what value does that have if you ain't telling somebody else that story?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think it could go both ways too, because I remember my ex. I remember vividly, and I reflect on this often because I'd be like, the first 3 dates we went on, I was like, I'm never going out with him again. Never going out with him again. Never
After
going
every
out with
date?
him.
Right.
Yes,
kept
the
going.
first. I'm not.
No self-control. Yeah.
No, like
That's why
how
she's like, take
but,
these shoes from me.
but,
Take these shoes.
but I
Can't
was
make a decision.
in a place where everybody was telling me like I was picky. People had like all these troubles in their relationships, so they were telling me like, well, you have to work through things and da 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 da. I had been told that I don't try to work through shit, like I just discard folks, you know,
Right,
and that sort of
right.
thing. So then I kept questioning, you know, like, am I just tripping? Should I give him a chance? He's a good guy, like that sort of a thing. But I remember the first date being like, I'm never going out with him again. But then he was like, all right, where we going on our next date? I want to take you here, da 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 da. Then we went. And then the second date, he was complaining about like the price of the food and stuff like that. And I'm like,
And that was a turn off.
yeah, I'm like,
Did he
never.
have financial understanding and he was...
He didn't have they didn't have the food that he liked, but once he figured out something that he liked, then he was all about it. And you put me on sushi, da 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 da.
Right.
And it was just the energy, like his energy.
Yeah.
And then the third date, it was something similar. He was like, I want to take you back, because I took him to Untitled for drinks after our second date. And then he was like, I want to bring you back here for dinner. And then he, when we went back for dinner, he was complaining about the food. And I already ordered less than what I would typically order, so I already dumbed down my shit.
Right.
And he was still like, damn, like, you know, complaining about
Goddamn.
complaining about stuff. But I say that all
You
to
do
say,
is the fucking side of the menu.
Wait a minute though.
I ended up in
Why
a
ain't that a good
relationship with
quality
him.
though?
Why what?
Why ain't that a good quality
To
though?
be to what?
To be like, damn, like I don't want to pay this.
Why did you want to bring me here?
He wanted you to have a good time. Y'all been before. The reason I asked that, right, I think we live in the twilight zone in a lot of ways, right? We talk about financial responsibility. And what the motherfucker says when he shows you like, hey, I ain't.
That's cool, but
It could be two things. It could be I'm poor, or it could be the responsibility that I have around my finances. This is not where I want to spend it.
that's cool. But a simple Google search will tell you how much this thing's gonna cost.
He picked the place. We went there for drinks the second day after we went to a different restaurant.
You Google search some shit, it'll put
And he said-
$1 sign or $2 signs or $3 signs or $4 signs, and it let you know like What you walking into?
He said, wow, I really like this place. This place is dope. I've never been here before. I want to bring you back for dinner. I said, okay, we'll go back. I eat dinner here all the time. That's my favorite place.
Right.
And then complain about it.
I'm just asking the question. I don't know. You know what I mean? I think
it doesn't apply to that scenario.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think you should be more prepared, more aware of what you're walking into. You know what I mean? Like,
he's not walking into it. He picked it.
That's what I'm saying. You picked it.
He's still walking into it, right? Even y'all just Google it. Y'all be saying that shit so willy-nilly. I'm 50. I don't Google shit. I go. You know what I mean? We work it out from there.
You got to Google it to even know where the fuck it's at. You got to do something.
You're there. I'm sure you looked at a menu.
No, I live on the edge.
He saw.
So if you just walk down and sit down like, I don't have the surf and turf, and then they bring you back and be like,
obvious. What y'all selling in here? That's how it works for me.
So I say that to say the influence
you
could
selling
go.
overpriced shit? Would you like something?
Right.
The influence could go like different ways. Like it don't have to necessarily be like I'm bigging them up. I was like, I don't know about this, but then everybody convincing me to like, well, you know. And now I'm in a relationship.
But you obviously ended up liking the nigga.
Yeah, I did.
There it is.
Now I'm in a relationship.
You know what I'm saying?
So I'm pissed.
Trapped.
I'm pissed off at my
Till I
cousin
wasn't.
right now. I wasn't gonna tell it to a Patreon, but fuck it. Pissed off at my fucking cousin, right? Mm-hmm. Cousin. I'm not on that. That's not what I'm.
Hey man, all I did was look at that man's face.
Y'all giving it up. Like, wait. Like,
Hey man, I tried to stop. I just looked at that man's face and couldn't hold it.
I wasn't on that.
Oh, that was funny.
We can put that on Patreon too, but that's not even what I was on.
Okay.
I'm pissed at my cousin right now because she's developed a genuine friendship with my partner, right? That's perfectly fine with me. That's wonderful. I've had relationships with partners that she's had before, no problem. The other day, my partner is on the phone, and she says, I gotta ask you a question. I really don't want to ask you, but I need to ask you. I'm like, what's good? She say, have you ever had sex with so-and-so? It's a common name. So I'm like, so-and-so who? And she like, your cousin friend.
So your cousin told on you?
I said,
Or she just put two and two together, being a detective.
so I'm over blue, right? As soon as I hear I'm over blue, so I'm like, what? So she repeated whatever. I'm like, yeah, but like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And so she's like, when? I'm like, years ago. You know what I'm saying? And so now I'm like, now she tight because her and my cousin have built their friendship. She has also been around this other woman. Y'all ain't friends though. You just been around her.
right.
And one day, out the clear blue, my cousin goes, you know, I think Herbie fucked what's her name? Why the fuck would you do that?
Wait, she calls you Herbie?
All my family call me Herbie. My fucking cousin. Yeah, everybody I've known since I was a baby calls me Herbie.
We just need some clarity.
That's fine. So I'm like, why the fuck would you do that, right? So now my partner got a little disposition about the shit. I'm like, first of all, this predates you, number one. But second of all, I'm the one that's mad. Like, what the fuck?
Right.
So I bring it up a couple of days or something later, like, fuck Danielle. Right?
You just had to say her name.
Danielle?
Pissed. Why would you do that?
Question. Let me ask you a quick
This
question.
mama, what?
What if this shit was role reversal?
1,000%.
Would you, 1,000% what? I didn't get to the question. I'm saying, would you be mad at all?
Wait, what you mean?
So some dude didn't knock down one of your partners, past tense, some other time.
Right.
And somehow you engage with him and y'all have some kind of relationship. Y'all got some kind of energy together.
Right.
But he's obviously in the circle of whatever your existence is. Would you be upset that this dude is in that circle?
No. Right. Like, I'm not like that. So what I told my partner when I'm like, they are bogus as hell for that, right? And she like, no, she's not. How? I'm like, first of all, what's your purpose? Like, what reason do you need to share this information?
Yeah.
She said, cause she's my friend. She's my fucking cousin. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's you just being messy for no reason. She's like, no, as a woman, she know I be around this other woman, and I might say something about you, and then she could just be weird because she around. I'm like, but you and her ain't friends. Ain't like y'all got each other number or y'all go out on some solo shit. That'll be a one thing. But y'all just around, y'all just be cordial because both of y'all are her friend.
And what is the expiration date? Like, if you did it years and years prior.
10 minutes is the expiration date. I could have just came out the box before I met you. That's the expiration date. Like, it's like, but even more so.
Because I'm trying to think what I want to know that information.
I'm mad at, like, we walk around like we siblings and shit. And you just decide to one day out the clear blue pull some shit out your ass like this?
That's a good question, E.
Yeah.
Role reversal again. Dudes in your circle. Would you want to know the dude was in your circle?
Okay, y'all missing my point.
No, I'm not missing
No,
the point.
we're not missing. We just
question.
elaborating on the conversation. Yeah.
Sure. Maybe. I don't care. I can know, I cannot know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not
I
tripping
get the point
either way.
why you're mad.
Right.
I get it.
But I'm not talking about desire to know. I'm talking about disloyal ass family. Is what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So I flip it back.
Yeah.
I flip it back on my partner because she acting like I'm OC for being mad. So I flip it back on her. So I said, all right. I name her best friend. I said, all right, say your best friend, all right? She's in a relationship with somebody that you become genuinely friends with, right? You build a genuine friendship with whoever she's with. Cool, no problem. But then he's around some other nigga that she's boned one time. One time, right? I say, you gonna tell her partner, like, hey, you know my BFF hit buddy. I'm like, would you do that? So now she's like, I don't know, maybe I wouldn't. It's different. I'm like, no, it's not different. This is my family. Build a real relationship with you. Cool, no problem. Glad y'all friends. That's wonderful. She bring you around her and her other buddies who I happened to hit years ago. And she think it's like necessary to tell you some shit like that?
Maybe you gotta stop hitting her friends.
Like, it was before, first of all. But second of all,
That's
what
why
the
you
fuck?
don't
I've been hitting your
shit where
friends since we was 10.
That's why you shouldn't.
Shit where you eat.
That leads us to the conversation.
I ain't even called her yet. But I'm going to go off on her ass.
But that's kind of like what we were talking about though, right? Like that uncomfortability between friends messing with other friends, because you do end up in relationships. You do end up close with your sisters or your brothers or your cousins, significant other, and then
you be like, yo, back in the day, he also bought, like, that's fucking nuts. Who does that?
I don't have them kind of relationships though,
I'm finna
man.
call her right
Why
now.
y'all talking about this shit? I thought about it. Like, I don't got no relationships with none of my siblings. Like, well, my brother-in-law, I really have a relationship with him till my sister passed. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I mean, what up? But it ain't like we, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, I only had one instance like that. And it was on, like, somebody trying to holler at one of my family members.
Yeah.
And they called me like, hey, man, I had to tell you the truth. And my response was like, she fucking crazy, and she gonna do some fucking crazy shit. And when she do the fucking crazy shit, if you respond to the fucking crazy shit,
Nah, I got to act
I'm on your ass. It's just the rules to this. So
Right.
you got to make that kind of decision.
I've done the same things
Is it worth it?
for my cousins
I'm
before.
not gonna choose you over her.
Yeah.
She gonna do some crazy shit. I love her to death, but she's going to do crazy shit.
I've done literally the exact
And
same
when
thing.
she does the crazy shit and you respond, I'm on your heels.
I've done the exact same thing literally for my cousin. Last nigga, we was cool. She brought him around all the time. We became cool. You know what I'm saying? They get into their shit, they arguing and shit. He put us in. I'm like, hey, I know she's nuts. I know that. But if you can't handle that, move around. Because if this happens again, I'm going to put my hands on you. Happens again, he pull up, try to dap me like we regular. I say, boy, I'm like, you know, like, so the whole thing. But it's like, I'm more salty than anything. More than angry, I'm like disappointed.
Yeah, I had apparently, I'm trying to remember how I had one of my friends tell me just like randomly, like the person that I went out to this date with was such and such.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, okay. She was like, or she texted me and she said, when you asked me did I go out on this date or whatever like that, this is who I went with. Do you mind? Does it bother you that I'm like, no, I don't care. I said, I just don't want to hear about it.
Did you tell us you put one of your friends on to like some nigga you used to mess with? I could have sworn you told us that. But either way, though. So again, part of my whole conversation, part of this shit is about that same American concept of ownership.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't own nobody. Even in the context of, like I said, with my homie trying to holler at my cousin. I didn't say no, but I know her.
Yeah.
And I know you. And you my nigga, and I love you. You a dirtbag, but I ain't mad at you being a dirtbag.
Right.
Right? But she's different. The elevator don't always go all the way to the top floor.
Sometimes it's gonna go left.
Right? She does some shit that if it was me on the other end of that, somebody finna die in here today. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So when a motherfucker, I know a motherfucker can push your buttons like that, I don't want to send you down that. You my brother. But that's my cousin.
Right.
You know what I mean? Traditionally, she does shit that's different. You know what I mean?
Can you handle that or not?
Right. Because then you going to cross a different line. Now, if it's just some old, fuck around, dick and pussy type of shit, man, that ain't my business.
Yeah. I don't care about that.
That ain't
Which
my
is
business.
what I'm saying. Like, I was just, whatever. But sticking on the broader topic of having those type of situations. So you, right? Obviously, we all family here. You the only woman.
Yeah.
But
It's very awkward.
you got, it's not awkward. You the biggest nigga in here. Right. But you got a lot of homegirls. You got a lot of friends, right? So sometimes they come through here or we see you out somewhere and they're around type shit. And some of them are very easy on the eyes.
All of them are.
That's not true.
That's not true.
That's cap.
Let's not get outside our body.
We told you the ones, okay? We told you the ones. If we didn't name them, those are the other ones.
Carry on with your statement, please. Checking up my daughter.
So, like, with us being so close and us having to work together and all that shit, would that be some awkward shit if, like, one of the guys got to mess with one of your girls type shit? Like, how would you navigate that?
It depends. If you're being respectful, you know what I'm saying?
What that mean?
Y'all disrespectful.
How?
Number one.
Them. Don't put y'all in there. I'm old.
I don't feel like
How?
none of y'all would be respectful.
But how? This
So
is what
it
you
probably
mean.
would not go over well. But but it would go back to the whole thing of like, do what you're gonna do. I don't want to hear about it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That would just be the whole thing. I don't want to hear about it.
From us or from them?
Nobody.
You couldn't avoid hearing about it, though.
Huh?
You probably couldn't avoid hearing about it. You probably going to hear
Because
about
y'all.
it. Not y'all. Okay,
Because of them too, though.
Y'all would be the one.
Y'all hypothetically, but because of them too, though.
Well, I think what would happen is, or what has happened.
One of them gonna be like, girl, Ron put his whole face in my ass type shit.
No, I don't want to hear that shit. I
know
would
what I'm
not want
saying?
to hear that.
Like-
no, I have boundaries. They would know my boundaries.
Okay.
Y'all wouldn't. They will respect my boundaries. Y'all would not. Cause y'all disrespectful. What do you say?
Girl, P, I had dick to the floor.
I'd be like, oh
Bring
my
up that
God.
baby leg on me. That's hilarious.
I would be mad. I wouldn't.
That is hilarious.
But I mean, I don't care. People
one of the
grown.
parties was like an official dirtbag, though, like a real dirtbag ass person. Woman or man, whichever one of them, right?
I do know friends like that, and
And you still be like, hey, my business?
I'm just like, all right, go right ahead.
Enter at your own risk type shit.
Enter at your own risk. Enter at your own risk. Yep. I don't want to
I
hear about
guess
this
it's
shit.
the level of friendship on which side of the coin, though, too, G. If, like, you a dirtbag, I ain't let my man, friends.
Uh-huh.
If they both friends, and you're a scumbucket, I'm probably going to give a hit that's like,
If it's like that, like if I know that you ain't shit, right? Then, say for instance, if it were you, I would feel obligated to be like, but I know that you're an open person, that you're
Sure.
gonna already explain
Yeah.
how you are, how
Sure.
you move.
But you might give him a heads up. Like,
That's understood. Like,
that nigga's not going to.
like whatever, enter at your own risk.
Right.
I don't want to hear about it.
So me, I grew up. I say this a lot. I grew up in the house with 5 boys in my formative years. You know what I'm saying? So 12 through 18, it was 5 of us in the house, or one left at a time whenever college and shit came up. But it was 5 of us in the house. It wasn't a very conservative place. You know what I'm saying? Like Webby got a line in one of his old songs where Webby like, "Yo chick tight, I want to borrow. Let me have her till tomorrow." We was under that act, like fully. You know what I'm saying? Like that was you had her for couple few weeks, months, or whatever. Like yo, like the next thing but we had like groups of girls that we would hang around, because every girl that any one of us fucked with knew the guys were gonna be around. So can I come over? Sure, you can come over. Bring your buddies though. You know what I'm saying? And then from that, the first night, your buddy might whop the band with Matt.
Swapping.
You know what I'm saying? Next time y'all come over here next month or some shit, motherfuckers ain't like, oh, that's Matt. Like that's just Shorty again. And however it go today, it just go today.
That's wild.
You know what I'm saying? Now, whoever brought over here, that's your piece. But the group, the crew, and that shit get intertangled a lot. You know what I'm saying?
When I was younger, I had a friend. She wasn't actually really like my close friend, but she was a close friend of one of my friends. And
friend adjacent.
She messed with 3 of my siblings.
Yeah. So you know what I'm talking about. So I go.
3. And actually 2 of my friends messed with one of my brothers.
That's how it go.
But
no problem.
Had nothing to do with it,
Yeah, no, and it's whatever. Like ain't nobody tripping off that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like one of the guys come in, like, damn, Shorty last time she was over here, she was all up under me. He walked in, she all up under Diop type shit. Like, okay.
Okay.
So I gotta create some barriers here. I don't know if that's all the way true. Not saying that it didn't come off like that. It didn't happen like that. I'm saying that the nobody cares part. Like I think there's like some cultural barriers that's being crossed here that we ain't talking to.
Okay, like what?
Like
'cause I genuinely think none of us care.
I think there's a distinct difference between community and not community.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So if you for everybody or you for the streets, then the streets allow you to be for the streets.
Right.
Right? So I think there's distinct differences in the questions and the conversation.
Yeah, niggas had their mains. That was nobody on that. Niggas had their mains, but I'm just saying, like, you bring over a crew of 5.
Sound like a slaughterhouse.
Whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
young man shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we 15, 16, 17, like, motherfuckers ain't pressed about none of this shit except your main. Cool.
So what's to the next topic that you mentioned? What is the timeline for exiting an ex situation before?
What you mean?
Well, I can't say before somebody else can enter because we're grown adults now, so that won't happen. But somebody, I think somebody brought it up, like what is the expiration date for, or the timeline for getting over an ex?
Oh, for getting over an ex?
That's what I think the question was, yeah.
Oh. I think it just depends.
Do people ever get over their exes?
Sure.
Shit, immediately.
Yeah. It just depends, though. I think you can maintain, like, some relationship, right?
Not all the time.
Yeah, not all the time. But that don't mean, like, so, like, I got an ex, Ashley. We cool to this day. But we are very much over each other type shit. She came and hung out, the bottom of my birthday last week. She came, cool. I'm ignorant, so as soon as she walked up to me, I motorboated her for no fucking reason. But we not really like that, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, but we just, but over each other, absolutely. So you maintain some little whatever shit, but like,
yeah,
nah.
but immediately, like, can you even, if you just broke up with somebody, let's say within like a 3-month span, and you started dating a new person, is it some residual feelings that's going into that next relationship? Is that next relationship a rebound?
We came up here, trauma lasts for 14 generations. So the thing, you're going to leave a person and erase them from your life path in 3 months is insane. That's a lesson that's part of your life. It's with you for the rest of your life, whatever that lesson taught you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in regards to and getting over is, I don't even know if I like how we use words.
The language,
right? Again, and I think there's a very unique difference in how we talk about women and how we have experiences with women, and even vice versa with how women have experiences with men, right? We all talk about the 3 important ones.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I don't know everybody's number in here. Shit, I don't know my number.
Yeah.
But the mother that don't fit into that 3, I was over you before my foot hit the other side of the door.
I was never under you.
You know what I mean?
I was never under your spell in the first place.
Right.
So to get over it.
As far as those 3, I don't have any ill will. I don't have any interest. It's just regular though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not nothing to get over in my mind. Like the concept of us being together is a done concept. All right. So it's like, what's the next step in life? I don't own you. I don't own the behaviors or actions you have after me. I didn't own you when you was with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you appreciate it for the lesson and you move the fuck on. Now I'm saying that's how I look at it. I don't know if everybody looks at it like that.
I agree with you. I think it's a language thing, and words matter, right? So this get over you thing is kind of, I don't know if that's the right terminology, and it influences how I then answer the question.
Coming to terms.
If you think, I think, will there always be some connection? Yeah. You know what I mean? But it ain't this or that. There's a connection there, right? My ex-wife will always have a connection. Even if we don't even fucking talk.
Yeah.
We never talk another minute in our life. We'll always have a connection. She'll always matter to me. Ashley will always matter to me. You know what I mean? In different ways, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, get over is, like I said, it's terminology, but I think those connections will remain. But this idea that I'm like pressed or uptight about you or feeling a certain, nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Okay, what else?
You think that's different for women?
I think I try to speak for the women, but
that's why you're here. You said you was the only woman.
But I don't think that I think a lot of the times when I try to, my views are like totally different.
Your man side shows up. Your man side.
Totally different from other women.
Eric comes out.
Shut the fuck up. Y'all don't even know me.
We'll start calling you Eric.
Please don't.
Lil E.
I am a sweetheart. No, I think that. What is the question? You're asking me, do women feel the same way, like where a person always like matters to them in a way that Herb just explained it? No. If I'm going to be speaking for women, I'm going to say no. I don't feel like, and we talked about this before too, where we question like, dang, did I really care about this person if I don't give a damn anymore? Right. You know what I'm saying?
Women don't never really love.
Huh?
Women don't never really love.
I would argue that could be true. I don't want to play with a super broad and say never, but I think that women attach themselves
very different. That's wild.
So
women
how you like unconditional love? I don't think women have unconditional love. I don't think y'all know what it is.
We do. I feel like I've had unconditional love for one person for sure that I can think of, right? And that person really gets on my nerves, you know? We're friends, but they really get on my nerves. But that's how I know, because I still care about them and stuff like that. That like, oh no, I really do fuck with you. I love you, you know? And I think that the other parts, y'all, it might be some truth to it if you're saying like a woman is more so romanticizing the situation.
The idea of love.
Yeah, the idea of love, the idea of like what this is supposed to like be or look like or feel like. And maybe that's why you don't really care. You know what I'm saying? So
what I'm thinking when I say I don't know that women know what unconditional love is, I mean like it's never mattered to me what a woman I love did for a living. It's never mattered to me what a woman I love. I don't know, some other basic shit.
I think that's different for I think that's a hard conversation to have because it's different for men. Like, men are not looking for security or, you know what I mean, financial security and stuff like that. Right.
That's what I'm saying.
And women are women may wrap up financial security and stuff like that in love, which
I think
is
that's
probably not actually
false
accurate.
Comparison, though. I think men are absolutely looking for security. It's just
not financial security is what I'm saying.
It don't matter what the fuck kind of security we looking for. We both looking for security, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
And if you can't, you might offer it at a level, but if you're agreeing with it, then you're not offering it sincerely. Like, there's a difference.
Well, I was saying to what he said, which is that he's not looking for a woman for like what she does for work. I was saying I don't think that is like.
But he only used that analogy to say that, you know, even for that to be part of the conversation, it speaks to the lack of genuine love in the spirit of how you're moving. Because in the spirit of how you're moving, none of that shit matters. Like, and I don't agree with her in saying women don't understand unconditional love. I think it just shows up differently. I don't know if it shows up in a romantic space, right? It shows up maybe through the lens of how you see your children, you know, all that type of shit.
Yeah.
But I think that when men anchor themselves in, for real, it's anchored in emotionally because that's what we're looking for in the partner in the first place.
Yeah, I was only speaking romantic.
Anchored into liking you because the level of security you provide my emotion.
Right.
I'm connected through the spirit chakra.
I feel safe here.
You know what I'm saying? So anything else is just that. It's anything else.
Right.
Your safety is external. Our safety is internal.
Yeah, what I could say or what I could agree with is, even when y'all talk about the three, like men have three, I might argue that women have the three too. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But we may, and actually on Sex and the City, they have said that women only get 3 great loves.
Well, that makes it true, you know, Sex and the City.
Facts.
On Sex and the City, they talked about how women only get 3 great loves. So I think that it might be the same with men and women on that end. And so what it may seem like, sometimes I hear a lot of girls, I hear a lot of women say like we real dramatic, right? And we act, like one of my friends, she always say like, I don't like how I act when I'm in a relationship because I be acting a fool and I don't even care that much. She act crazy. You know, when the breakups happen, she be doing the most and she don't even really care. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's true or not or whatever that means, I could see how a man could have the 3 real loves, right? And a woman could have the 3 real loves too. And the other in-between ones just...
In-between ones.
Yeah, and we're like overly romanticized or something like that. Because even when I'm talking about my ex and that I dated him, ended up in a relationship with him, even though the first 3 dates, I told myself I'm not going out with him anymore. Like, how did I get here? You know?
That's another thing I question though, right? When people be talking about their exes, because people be having a whole lot of exes. In my mind, if you don't fit into them 3, you're not an ex.
Yeah, no, I just... somebody I knew.
I just knew you.
I categorize an ex as somebody like that meant something to me, I guess, and that I actually had a conversation that we're in a relationship.
Yeah. If you're in the 3.
Like that we actually had conversations like, yeah, we're in a relationship, we're working towards this, that, and the third. Yeah, like if it wasn't that, then.
No, I feel that 100%.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just think men and women are different, and I think that's okay.
Yeah.
I just think that we haven't done a good enough job to, 1, learn each other.
Yeah.
And 2, to understand each other.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that if we could do that, we'd be more accepting of our differences.
Yeah.
And just like, okay, that's cool. You know what I mean? But when you're unwilling to learn, it makes it really difficult to understand.
That's interesting, and I agree with you, right? But I think there's a level of projection that happens between both parties, and I think it's media driven, and I think it's culturally driven. But I think women expect women of men, and I think men expect
men of women.
Men of women, and it just don't work like that, right?
Yeah.
In order for it to work the right, proper way, right? It's like a puzzle, right? If you got the same two fucking pieces, you can't interlock them.
Put nothing together, right?
You can't put nothing together. You know what I mean? But it's absolutely what Herb said. We got to appreciate you for what your value is.
Yeah.
And we got to know what that value is. And
That's
I don't even mean it through the context of What the social paradigm is, it's the innate natural paradigm. What is your value?
What do you bring to
you know what I
me?
mean?
And do people, I don't think, that's what I was going to say, like, and we have to know, like, what that value is. And I don't think, like, when folks date, that anybody is really trying to
I heard this shit.
Find value in anybody.
And it's really
Man or
internal,
woman.
right? Really knowing yourself. I heard this shit the other day. It's like imagine being in the GPS and asking the GPS to direct you to some place, but the GPS can't pinpoint where you are. How do you ever get to a direction? And if you don't know your set place, you can never set your GPS for your goal, because you don't know where the fuck you are.
Or even in the sense where, like me, I'm not even destination oriented, right? I'm present today. But even to that same analogy, though, it's still on point. So I'm like, just meet me where I'm at. Well, where the fuck are you? I don't know where I'm at. Well, what the got my fucking phone? You know what I'm saying? Like, and we don't even know where we are, and trying to tell somebody to meet me here. Like, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's a great way to explain it, man, and it made all the sense in the world to me, man. Like,
my lovely cousin once called me at 3 a.m. and was like, "Cuz I'm fucked up. I don't come get me. Where you at? I don't know."
Let it go.
That's real.
I got up and found her.
I'm
What do
talking
you
about
see?
you,
Oh,
your
I
anger.
see this, I see that. And then you do this kind of goofy shit.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. Let it go.
No.
But it's an analogy, but that's the exact outcome.
Yeah.
Right? When you don't know where you are, you just gonna keep getting lost. It's circular. You know what I mean? And that the only way you can find that access to that GPS point is to look internally. And when you got a social paradigm driving the value set, you don't really get there. Right? So my puzzle and your puzzle look the exact fucking same because we think we the exact fucking same. We think we got the same value. It's the same very surface level conversations. It's the very same surface level interest. You don't have if it ain't pussy. I saw something that I was watching. I can't help it. I watch BMF every fucking week.
I watch it too.
And Meech beats up the whole world and fucks every stripper in Atlanta.
Gangsta Meech.
And Meech, one of the things he said the other day, he was like, "I don't beef with nobody unless it's over money and pussy." Right? I want you to have context of that. This is early 90s. They're depicting one of the biggest drug dealers in the history Black history, right? And here's his value set: pussy and money.
Right.
That's basically what he said.
Yeah.
I don't fight over nothing but pussy or money, right? If this is what I'm willing to go to war over, that's my value set.
Right.
You know what I mean? 1990s drug dealer. If I juxtapose that into the mainstream mindset of our community today, is it any different?
No.
Yeah.
Right? And now let's reverse that and look at the women he's fucking on. I said the strippers in Atlanta. What's their mindset?
Money.
Fuck them, then get some money.
Fuck them and get some money.
Yeah.
Juxtapose that to today, same mindset. But the value asset is in both scenarios is the safety and security of the money. They don't give a fuck about each other's humanity.
Yeah.
Nah.
In the Meat show, right? He got to go back to St. Louis. The little chick he done saved from the life. Well, I guess I'm gonna go fuck with your competitor.
Told him to his face.
Just what it is, right?
Yeah.
And that's how we move today. It's a very savage behavior because we don't value each other's humanity, and then wonder why we keep running in these circular motions.
And that's what I was gonna say. That's why you end up back with the same type of person, and you keep feeling like stuck.
Because you're
like,
the same type of
You don't
person.
learn the lesson
Yeah.
yet.
And you're not figuring it out.
It's that unwillingness to learn, and therefore you can't understand. And the first person you gotta learn is you. Then I have a chance of learning you, and now we can have some fucking understanding. But I ain't learned me. I damn sure ain't learned you. We can't have any fucking standing at all. And I think that once you learn who you are, then if you keep hitting your head, like that's your fault now. Now you fucking up. You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't take the time to learn you. Actually, I don't even think it's possible that you keep fucking up once you learn who you are. What you learn, what you truly desire, what you truly own. I don't even think you keep fucking up.
Yeah, you're only going to train motherfuckers who heal too. But it's also one you said you keep ending up in the same place. That part I don't agree with. I think that like any other machine or machinery, right? Like I said with the puzzle, you keep banging against the same rigid pieces. Eventually, you damage the pieces. You can't use them at all in the puzzle anymore at all. Same thing with machinery. You can't move anymore. So that savage behavior corrupts to the point where it's no healing possible. Hence, you start to get the communities we get now where boys like boys at an enormous rate.
Yeah.
Girls like girls at an enormous rate. Like the shit is just getting, we keep saying we in a circular place. No, I'm saying here's the value system of that depicted on the show made 30 years ago.
Yeah.
The intensity of that value system has projected us to where we are today, and it ain't. It's the same value system. The outcomes are not the same.
Yeah,
whether you a kingpin and a stripper in Magic City, or you got a 9 to 5,
actively going to college for a graduate degree, you got the same mentality.
Yeah.
And it crumbles community. And community is a family. It is a relationship. That's how that works. It crumbles it, right? So I don't know, maybe the day I had this conversation, I had this conversation with somebody else, like, when I got to college, everybody spoke, and you was like, man, because I'm from this rigid place, where I was like, the fuck is you talking to me for? Right? But it's that same energy out here today. I see a young boy with one of them purse attachers on the side today. I get the fuck out the way. I don't know what young boy on. The other day, Eric, I think I was telling you on the other Monday show, my son went to a party this weekend, and he asked, first he was like, I'm going to take the bus to the party. So I was like, where the fuck is this party? Told me the address. I was like, you ain't taking the bus over there, nigga.
Right.
He don't have an understanding of the city the way I have an understanding of the city. So immediately I'm like, nah, nigga, you confused about where when you supposed to be doing this? He was like, we gonna go at 9:30. You got me fucked up, cuz. No, you not. But I will take you.
Yeah.
And this is me who loves us. At least I say I love us. I feel like I love us. I show up and I was like, I don't really want to let this nigga out the car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then when I do let the nigga out the car, I got the nigga a 20-minute pep talk about how to move in an environment like this.
Yeah.
I don't know what environment this is in real life.
Yeah.
You just see some.
I just see certain images and messages, and I'm stereotyping, and
that's fucked up.
You know what I'm saying?
But
that is
also
the after effect of that.
Yeah. And you kind of gotta.
I didn't give you the value of accessing your humanity anymore.
Yeah.
You became the image that the media or the community or even you perpetuate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think there's still some value in that though. Like, so we talk about like stereotypes, right? Don't stereotype people, don't this, that, and the third. And that sounds cool in theory, right? But if I literally had to start from scratch every time I encountered a person, that wouldn't be good either. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't look at you and infer anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, don't stereotype. So now I'm walking down a dark street, motherfucker hooded up, pull string tight, cross the street, and me walking like this. I'm like, I'm gonna take my. Maybe he doesn't. He probably doesn't mean stab. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you remember that on comedy?
But I also think what's very important. I think what's very important about that is who's creating those stereotypes, who's creating those narratives, right? Today I was in a private meeting with Jesse Jackson for 3-4 hours. I got braids in my fucking hair. You know what I mean? I wear camouflage. If the police see me, what do you think their perception of me is? You know what I mean?
Sure.
But I have conversations and I'm in rooms and I'm doing shit that my image don't necessarily match all the time. And I'm very aware and very conscious of that, right? I show up in places and I start talking. We had this conversation a little bit yesterday, like my energy and what comes out my mouth are very different.
Yeah.
And most times people don't hear what comes out my mouth, they hear energy, right? The way I look and what comes out my mouth and what I value are very different in context to the narratives that have been written, right? But also in my own mind, I perpetuate a certain narrative or a certain stereotype on purpose because I want to challenge your thought.
Right. I say it all the time. Yeah.
But I don't know if it's effective.
I think it's a difference though. Like I even today when I was getting off work, it was a young man and he looked real clean and spiffy. You know, he had glasses on. He had his pants though, all tight as leggings with his whole butt out. You couldn't see it. But I was even like I had to catch myself because it's like I'll do the same thing like you said. Like I'm gonna move a certain type of way. I'm paying attention to everybody that look like this, that look like this, like whatever the case, right? But on one end I was like, oh, he's a clean cut looking dude.
Right.
But then on the other hand I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can still, like you said, they got their handbag on type of thing like that, whatever the case may be. I'm like, you can still
make some
you can
mistakes.
still get down. You know what I mean?
You're gonna make some mistakes with those assumptions sometimes, and I think you just gotta live with it. I'm not finna put
You can't
myself
risk it.
in no alone situation with some white woman I deem to be Karen like.
Right.
You know
exactly.
what I'm saying? Like, am I gonna end up smoking some nice white lady sometime? Probably, but I'm not finna end up dead or doing life behind trying to not stereotype a motherfucker. Like, nah.
But what I'm saying is that the shit runs so deep that we talking about in context to relationship.
Yeah.
Right? The shit runs so deep that we put a book cover without reading the book. Right? It's the response to the Allen Iverson statue. Fuck you mean that's Allen Iverson statue? But you don't have context because you don't know what the rest of the statues look like. So we approach relationship from the same vantage point. Even how we had this conversation. You speak for women, E. You really can't. And we really can't speak for men. We can only speak for Herbert and Tucson. You know what I mean? Well, Herbert and Tucson. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, but we do because we've been kind of integrated into these ideas of what we are. And that ain't necessarily, it's not supposed to be true.
Right.
Yeah.
But it does show up with some level of truth because we've not harnessed what humanity and our individuality is like. So even that, the post I put up on our Instagram the other day when I was like the 5 regrets before dying, the first fucking regret was I wish I was able to be myself, right? And they blame that on the lack of courage in being myself. That's what the writer wrote. I argue that's false. I argue that we're all victims of the programming of a certain kind of a society, right? So we laughed about the Chinese, well not laugh, but we talked about the Chinese kids going in and cooking, and they're finding and learning and figuring their way out. They're not conforming to an idea, right? So you think about school in America, and I'm just talking about how institutions perpetuate these ideas that play out in every aspect of their life. You go to school in America, you walk in a straight line. You sit at the fucking desk. You got to ask to use the bathroom. Just all this very rigid rules, right? How you deal with, even how we talk to each other, right? Girls do this, boys do this. All these rigid lines, right? That start to create, and there are other rigid lines that we don't, it's not as viable or tangible in other communities that are in our communities.
Okay, I got it.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's black men have a different rigidness or a different standard than probably the white boy at 14, 15. Right? The white mom ain't necessarily as afraid to send her white daughter to Ryan's house as she is to sending her to Jamal's house.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It just standards look different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The expectations and outcomes look different. Yeah. But internally we start to adapt. Yeah. And it might be why when the crew come over, that's for everybody. Because if we're being honest, to move like that is a certain level of a lack of respect. And and I'm no different. I participated, but it's also that woman has a certain level of a lack of respect for herself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, all around the board.
Or, bullshit.
A hoe's a hoe.
But it's just who's writing those fucking narratives.
She's made a decision.
Who's writing those fucking narratives?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's real, man. I mean, certain part of it is nature, and we gonna wrap this up, but like certain part of it is just nature, man. Like the fucking gazelle better damn well know what to do when he see a lion. Like you stereotype that lion, you damn right I did, because the last 8 lions I saw ate one of these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, and, it just.
But it's that stereotyping. That's what the lion do.
Yeah, but not all of them.
All lions eat gazelles.
Yeah, but I'm saying, this is what I'm saying. Every lion you seen ain't trying to eat you.
Everyone ain't gonna catch you.
Everyone you seen ain't even trying to eat you.
One of them wants you on the menu.
But if you stereotyping that, and it's hard too in dating even, because if I'm going into every situation thinking that you gonna smoke me just like he did, or he did, or he did, or he did, or whatever the case may be,
you set yourself up to get smoked.
But then,
now you set yourself up to miss the
really,
one. Right.
But then in order to get to the person and to really like understand, the energy of y'all two together, you got to be vulnerable.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? Which is
and I still stand on what I said. If you coming in with the mindset that he's gonna smoke me, you bring into your existence that kind of energy.
Yeah, I agree.
You know
I agree with that. I agree with that. But to stereotype or not, I guess.
I think
the question.
Yes and no. Like, is it bad? Is it fucked up?
Right.
Yeah.
Is it necessary?
Is it necessary? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, how I'm gonna start from scratch every single time I meet somebody. Like, I gotta be able to infer something. I gotta have a download of information from my past experiences that tells me shorty that look like that, talk like that, walk like that is not. This is who she is. You know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes you're gonna be 100% wrong, and that's just fucked up. But what Ali tell that white man on that fucking interview?
He said if there's 1,000 snakes coming down the street, I'm not keeping the door open to see what snakes is nice.
Right, and one of them don't mean me no harm. Oh, man, close that fucking door. The one that don't mean me no harm too. You stay your ass out there.
Right.
Fuck.
I don't agree with that though, G. And I get it in logic,
Mm-hmm.
you know, in the context of the world we live in. But I also think, right, because of who we are specifically, all of our humanity is deprived since birth. And to continue that is unfair to us. And it creates the outcomes that we have. You know what I mean? So I get it. I try to walk mentally. I try to tell myself I don't want to be in that place. It happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It happened the other night when I took Eric to the party.
I have to check myself.
I don't want to be in that place.
I have to check myself when it happens, right? I have to check myself when it happens because I too encounter shorties out here that fit the description.
Or women that fit the description.
Women that fit the description. Me, like whatever. I encounter people who fit the description. It's like I should probably give. Like, hold on. Like,
that's how
give him a chance, motherfucker. Like,
that's what I commented when we was talking about, y'all was talking about the black code thing. I'm like, black code should be, you know, being able to go up to another black boy and say XYZ or whatever like that.
Yeah.
But you can't.
And if I'm being bluntly honest, the motherfuckers who fit the description of upright are usually the most foul motherfuckers I meet.
And that's what I was getting at when I was talking about the dude that I saw. I had to be like, just because you got on glasses.
The most fitting into the right
Dirty
narrative shit are usually the most foul people I've ever met.
nah, that's real shit.
They just know how to mask that foulness.
That's real shit, man.
You know?
Nyla went to a party. I know we about to leave. Nyla went to that Jack and Jill had a team party or whatever like that, and she wanted to go with one of her friends, and she wanted me to drop her off to his house. He lived over east in South Shore, and she like I was like, who's taking y'all to the party? Like the mom? And she like, I don't know. I said, because if y'all walking, you not walking.
Yeah, I wouldn't suggest that either.
She's like,
that's fucked up because I talk about all the time like it's the best place in the world, and I genuinely believe that. But I would still tell my niece like,
she like he lives right there. He said he lives like a block away. I said no because I dropped him off before. I said no, he don't. He lived maybe like 4 blocks away.
Right.
I can pick him up too, and I'll take y'all both. He still wanted to walk. She like, oh, his mom not taking us. He was walking. I'm like, okay, you're not. She was like, okay. She don't know. You know, she don't know nothing about that. She like, this is a nice party. It's this and that. I'm cool with the party and the location. It was at the South Shore Cultural Center. So I felt like, all right, cool. They probably got security, whatever the case may be. No, you're not walking.
Yeah. It is what it is. It's a
judge.
bit of a conundrum that we live in terms of how do you survive in the world as it is whilst trying to create the world that you desire. And it's a delicate dance. It is a delicate, delicate dance. We got to go, man. We're going to hop into this Patreon episode. We are going to talk about micro-cheating, right? Similar to microaggressions. We're going to talk about micro-cheating and all of its different forms. E got like 21 different micro-cheats.
White people just be
Are you a
shit.
micro cheater?
No.
What's the hey? I'm a black man and I'm a micro cheater. What's those little videos? Have y'all seen the Asian
Of course
one?
I'm micro
Of course
cheating.
I'm micro
Have
cheater.
y'all
I'm a
seen the
man.
Asian one though? It's like 4 or 5 Asians, and it's like the first 3 or 4 Asians come out with this. Hi, I'm Asian. It's all these like valuable stereotypes. And then the 4th one always comes in and says some real reckless, nasty shit. That's just so funny to me.
No, them things, that's one of the cooler, internet phenomena that's happened, of course, demos. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to this Relationship Friday edition of Urban 2. Please make sure you hit the like button. It helps us out a lot. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, and share the video with somebody that you think would find it valuable and entertaining. We'll be back on Monday, 1 p.m. Central Time, live for another live edition of Herb and 2. Huge. I'm on my glow shit. Huge. Huge shout out to Ron Rilla. Huge shout out to the to the well endowed.
That's so gay.
That is
No,
so
you're
gay.
Whatever. I'm cool. I'm not a homosexual. Y'all heard what the man said earlier. For E and 2, I'm Herb. Y'all be good to each other. Peace.
Salam alaikum.